are live on the corner of Gray and Church, which is the street corner where the city is giving an honorary street name on behalf of Dino Robinson for all the work that he's done to raise awareness and to archive the history of the black community in Evanston and along the North Shore.
Dino is one of our local heroes. His reputation in the community is stellar in terms of what he's done to preserve the legacy of African Americans in Evanston and North Shore is unprecedented. We are excited about what's happening in Evanston. There is so much that is going on. We're excited, of course, about reparations. We're excited about transition and movement. We're excited about leadership. We have leadership at District 65. We've got leadership all over the place. We thank God for Dale Davis and Northwestern University's community relations. We thank God for Monique Parsons, who's at the YMCA. So this is a moment, I think, that stands on the precipice of great change. And we're excited to be a part of it.
What does this mean to you?
Understanding and appreciating that made my home with the and documenting our legacies. So I'm just happy to be part of a legacy family. So welcoming in open arms.
A lot of white people, I would say, did not know you. Even a few years ago, and more people are aware of the importance of Shorefront. Do you think you would ever do this full time?
I'm really hoping to pass it on to a new generation that can take it on to the next level. My goal was to do something and give it back to the community and then let the community take ownership. That's what I really want.
Yeah. You also laid the groundwork for looking at reparations in Evanston, and that just happened a week ago.
This is a monumental moment. Dino Robinson has been a pillar in our community, and we are finally getting a chance to honor all the work he's done. I'm so excited about this.
Very excited for Dino, and excited to see him honored.
What are you hoping for in terms of race relations, racial healing in Evanston, discourse in Evanston?
Yes, I am. Yes, I do. Yeah. It was about reparations.
Absolutely. Today.
I'm here to honor Dino. I think he's a fantastic person, and he always comes to our festival.
Dino is 1992, and he is an amazing person, very driven. And ever since he told me about Shorefront Legacy Center, I can say I supported him since day one, and the mission and the work. He does so much for the city of Evanston. There's no way that I can.
Thank you. That's great. Thank you. It's so nice. And you,
Who is that?
All right. My name is Chip Ratliff. I'm the president of Shorefront. And I am proud to say Dino is my best friend.
Dude.
I just decided that. That's what I learned.
What a special day. We get one opportunity a year, and I consider it our highest opportunity to honor someone that has made a historic, transformative impact that is measurable in our community. And what Dino has done for us, what Dino has done for the Black community in Evanston in archiving our stories here selflessly. He's not a native Evanstonian. He came here and he saw a rich people and a rich history, and he thought it was worthy of archiving and making it his life's work at his own expense. Started in the basement of his home and transitioned to Family Focus. He's now at Sherman Church. But Dino made it possible for us to do the work that we're doing today with reparations. If not for Dino archiving our history, we would have had years of feasibilities and studies and proofs, and Dino made it possible for us to accelerate repair and redress for the Black community in Evanston, and that has sparked something in this nation. So although the city of Evanston, the residents, experts from all across the nation have supported us in this work, Dino singularly is responsible for the cornerstone of this work that has allowed us to progress and advance in this city and create a sense of place for Black residents, a renewed pride and sense of community here in Evanston. And then he's just so selfless with his time. I call Dino probably 5 times a week. Mrs. Morris, thank you for allowing us to call on him so much. We call on Dino so much all the time for everything, to speak, to educate, to advocate, to inform, to present. And he never says no. He always makes time, and he does this with a full-time job. He's not being compensated for this work. So I just want to say, Dino, I could not think of anything more to do. You know, as an alderman, we get $15,000 a year. I didn't have any money to pay you. But this is the highest and best honor that I have in my aldermanic capacity, to honor you and thank you for what you've done for our city. I want to say thank you, thank you, thank you. You have made a lifelong impact on this city that will never be forgotten. Because of you, our stories will always be told. And I say this on behalf of all of my colleagues on the City Council of Evanston and the staff that calls on Dino as well, and the 5th Ward residents. Thank you, Dino.
Talk about Dino Robinson and his drive. I say that there are people who work hard, there are people with vision, there are people who strive to do what they want to do. Then there's Dino Robinson. Dino started this. He walked into a local historical society and he asked, he was doing a paper, and he said, I want to have everything you have on Black history in Evanston. This was in 1995. They brought out a copy box with 3 folders, manila folders, marked colored in 1995. And he said, okay, yeah.
Do something about that.
It's time to do something about this. He wrote a book, he wrote another book. He did the Shorefront Journal. Now we have, how many linear feet?
350.
Oh,
Dino has a vision. It's so simple and it's so strong. Black history should be common knowledge.
that's right.
yep.
Every day.
I don't think you heard me. Black history should be common knowledge.
Every day.
If Black history was common knowledge, oh my God, there would still be people who wouldn't care. But I'm telling you, things would be so different if the real, honest Black history was common knowledge. That Black kids understood that we weren't just slaves. We had so much contribution to this country, to this town, to this world.
That's right.
That things would just be totally different. The pride, the foundation that we stand on would be, Black history should be common knowledge. And that's this man's vision.
The fact that Dino has dedicated his life to capturing those life stories of Black residents along the North Shore, many here in Evanston, really is something that everyone in this city and everyone even in Chicago and in this entire area will value the rest of the
Dino Robinson. I really don't know what to say. I do all this talking about history. I don't even know where to begin. Except that, you know, I have to thank my parents for making the decision to come here to Evanston. I learned from my family, my grandparents, who taught me about my own personal history and how important that is. And then as I grew older and started working within this community, I saw a rich, vibrant culture that is far beyond domestics and servants. I saw entrepreneurs. I saw movers and shakers. I saw trending issues that come to the forefront where this community had took up the mantle and started working hard, even against all the odds that may have been against them all. So I appreciated this community, and I want to make sure it was remembered in a way that our generational families can remember and take ownership of. I mean, who knew that Nellie Crawford in 1905 lived here in Evanston, just off of Benson Street in downtown Evanston, later to become a professional extra in over 100 movies, including Birth of a Nation. And I always talk to this with kids too, is that how many of you know in high school had your first car in high school? Kids were raising their hand. And so, well, Captain Fred Hutchinson had his first airplane at age 17. Beat that. And taught himself how to fly. But who knew that history? Who knew that a young woman by the name of Dorothy Hadley would go on to change the course of documentation of what was happening in Ethiopia as Italy was invading their country? She was a war correspondent there, married to the first nephew of King Haile Selassie. Lived right here in Evanston, right on down, went to Evanston Township, and graduated from Howard University. So there are a number of people that have done this. Even on this block. And I'm just honored to be a part of this vibrant, historic community that welcomed me with open arms and shared with us and the board their personal stories, their lives, and their legacies so that our future generations can learn from this.
Yes, the scissors. Where's Dino?
You're working. There you go.
Got it down. In 5,
4, 3, 2, 1. Woo!
Let's go, one more. Coming, right here.
Dino! 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 Dino!